Are we ready for Andrew Rivers? I believe we are. Andrew, you there?
Hello.
All right, you're on. Are you in Seattle?
Hi. Yes, I love Seattle. You know, people make fun of Seattle, but it's a good time to be a gluten-free Prius driver right now.
Amen.
Absolutely.
And there's enough of them.
Yeah. So, Andrew, we saved the Will Smith thing. We didn't talk about it at all.
Liar.
You could hear
Oh, good.
sarcasm.
There's no meat left on the bone for me.
Here's
You've
some
covered all
crumbs,
the-
Andrew.
No, there's tons, brother. There's
Yeah.
tons.
Yeah, there's
You've
a lot
covered
to
all
chew.
the punchlines. All right.
Ah.
Well, first of all, I'm at Summit City Comedy Club in Fort Wayne, Indiana this weekend. If anyone wants to punch me, it would help me not perform in Indiana as often. So I could use a viral video. Let's go.
All right. Do you, as a comedian, do you see this differently than the average person?
What is the? Tell me your opinion. You're the average person.
There you go.
You're not comedically inclined at all. So
Let's get a good baseline for opinions. Yes.
yeah.
Let's go back to empathy and love and how people don't respect each other in our world
Right.
anymore.
I think we've case in point.
It's a joke. See,
Yeah.
well, I'll say it's a good thing Chris Rock was the host, you know, because he's got those huge lips to cushion the blow if anyone hits him.
Now,
See, we
he's-
can make fun of someone's appearance. It's fine.
you made fun of Chris Rock's appearance, but it had a
Hey,
little
Andrew, nice hair. You look like Drew Barrymore's cousin. It's fine. It's okay.
All right. Now, are lips okay? Unless I'm another big-lipped person, is that okay?
In the context of a comedy show, I think that's fine. I mean, you could use
It's
the
going to
numbers
do well in
too, so let's-
Indiana.
I wouldn't,
Don't try in Detroit.
I wouldn't road test that here, Pally.
Yeah, I was going to say, man, you want to keep going out of Compton and you'll be
You
fine.
may go home shorter. And they don't do tibia transplants, by the way.
All right, Andrew, I know how hard it is to get a complete sentence out with these guys. They're constantly interrupting everybody. It's like playing whack-a-mole when you're trying to talk.
God.
Sorry, just noticed that. I never noticed it before.
Wow.
All right, go ahead, Andrew.
Jesus.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think the only crime was a G.I. Jane reference in 2022. I mean,
There you go.
he's the best actor in the world. He couldn't play it cool for 30 seconds. It seems a little ridiculous. You can't slap a comedian. This isn't the Wild Wild West, you know. He could have given Chris Rock a concussion and
Easily.
yeah, I don't know. It's a joke. He's at work. He's not on the street or at a bar. It's the point of the Oscars, and
The stage.
it wasn't a good joke. But if we're slapping comedians for bad jokes, that explains why Carrot Top has been taking steroids. You know.
As seen on Andrew's Facebook page.
Yeah.
Good point.
So that's not Botox, it's swelling? That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah. There are lots of like hypotheticals being thrown around, and it's difficult to compare situations. You know, if he would have done that to Amy Schumer, well, he wouldn't have done it to Amy Schumer because she would have whooped his ass. You know,
Yeah.
Chris Rock is 130 pounds. Amy Schumer is a sturdy gal. You know, she's not gonna take a punch and go down. So
I think the Oscar for best special effects was whoever got her off the ground in those that Superman or Spider-Man costume. You want to talk about some CGI magic, dude? Jeez.
Easy now.
those got to be some strong wires. Yeah.
I'm telling you, man.
We'll return to love and empathy for 8 seconds before the
No, we won't. No, we won't.
That's going to get the ratings. The love and empathy.
Let's start at the base. Was it staged? Anybody think it was staged and scripted?
The writers came up with a G.I. Jane joke, so I don't think they were clever enough to think of anything that funny, you know?
But there's also apparently on some dark web internet QAnon site
Well, I looked it
say-
up. They are both actors, so that is suspicious.
that the joke wasn't on the script.
Yeah, it was an ad lib, more or less.
You know that?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't hear. Well, yeah, it makes sense. I mean,
You're on Twitter,
have
so
to-
you would know this stuff before us.
well, I don't know. I mean, they have to approve jokes, and they have to go through a whole rigmarole just
They
to
do.
get them
Right.
onto the show. So I can certainly see the presentation of how it went down to being like nobody really expected all that, but
Right.
you know,
That was cute.
I don't know. I can't believe everyone just stood there in silence and
Watched it
moved
happen?
on. You know, like, but I guess that's Hollywood doing what it does best. You know, pretending an assault didn't happen. Hashtag Me Too. But,
It was the Harvey Weinstein Lifetime Achievement Oscar.
That's right.
speaking of a guy that's got 81 Oscars, you know,
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
That's scary.
Does he have that
So-
many, really?
yeah. There's
That's
us.
wild.
If you really want to go back, I mean, again, the sanctity of the ceremony. It's a award show for rich people to, you know. Even Will Smith's speech, he was trying to be like, this isn't about an award and celebrating, you know, this is about love and, you know, whatever. But it is a silly thing. That's why no one paid attention once they invented the internet. People were like, oh, we can just watch, you know,
The
whatever
results.
we want on
Right.
demand, you know?
Yeah.
So
Anybody remember who got Best Picture?
It
Coda.
was, it was
Great
the
movie.
deaf movie. The deaf
Coda.
movie.
Yeah.
Coda. Thank you.
Yeah.
We have spent
a big night
90
for talking with your
99
hands.
Yeah, we've been.
Very
Nice.
good. Very play. Very
Now,
well
was that on
played.
the script, or did you just come up with that?
I just saw that floating around. That's not mine.
Yeah, that's good.
There are
answer-
some great,
Yeah.
great ones flying around us today,
So,
too.
so we're gonna
Kathy-
stop. We're gonna stop
Kathy-
on Will Smith right now. But that
okay.
movie Coda, what an awesome movie! Has anybody seen it?
Yeah, it was great. I think I watched it with you.
We did. That's right.
Yeah.
Had a lot of love
I
and
haven't
empathy
seen it,
in
but
it.
I'm
So
going
let's
to
move
now.
on. No one
Yeah.
cares.
All right.
Oh, man.
Well, it is tough. You know, comedians were not. The thing I worry about, in all seriousness, is this going to embolden audience members
Right.
or hecklers or
Right.
you know, there's a lot of both sides, people mocking comedians for saying we're in danger, but it like a lot of clubs are barely making it through and not hiring security, and when you look at the layout of a comedy club, the audience has to be as close to you as possible. So
And between you and the door.
for sure. And I've thought
Yeah.
about it several times. You know, I did a show where Trump supporters tried to boo me off stage, and the whole time I was worried that was going to go much worse for me. And, you know, that video is on my YouTube channel. But
You want to check it out? It's on my YouTube channel. I almost hit somebody,
Just
but
a
I should have hit him.
little
Actually.
I mean,
Well, you were just
last night I
saying
was
last week-
performing.
right.
Yes. I was performing in a movie theater for 250 people, and you think a 16-year-old boy is going to. He's working the popcorn machine. He's going to get involved if there's a melee because someone in North Bend didn't like my Trump joke. Like, you know.
Well, if they raise his pay to $16 an hour, he might.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Right.
I mean, am I allowed to punch an audience member if they heckle me? You know, where are we drawing the...
Yeah.
Is it only not funny because she had a medical condition? Why did he laugh and then get up? There's a lot of confusing things, but
Yeah.
I do worry about safety and well, you know, I'll probably have to insert a joke into my act from now on that says at least for another 2 weeks while the tension's still thick. But
That's another question.
Oh,
This-
I got the answer for you. Prop comedy. If you don't mind prop comedy, I got the answer for you.
okay.
yeah, me and
Taser.
Carrot Top will be wearing
Taser,
a
baby.
bulletproof vest. Oh,
No,
taser.
put a live taser on the stage and show them it's working before you start.
Yeah.
Any volunteers?
And yep, anybody wants to come up here and you don't like the comment I made about your wife's third chin.
You want it to work better? Put a claymore up there, a big old sword.
You turn it face the audience. You can
Yes.
get one at Army surplus, dude. That is genius.
You
Oh
laughed
my
at
God,
Wallace. Now laugh at me.
That's genius.
I think if I just put a wooden gun in a holster, you know, like a fake gun or something like
Open
that.
carry.
then- yeah,
Open
let people
carry.
know. But
So the word that comes to mind as I hear all of this stuff, escalate. That's
Right.
all escalating.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the
and
same.
by the way,
feeling-
Chris Rock did an amazing job of de-escalating.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
If you
Total
slow
pro.
mo it down, his
Total pro.
first automatic animal instinct, it looked like his other hand was about to come up and maybe take a swing back or try to defend himself, but
Yeah.
he really just stood there and he took it like a champ, literally, and just
and then turned
he
a
was
joke
not that
and got
funny.
the room to,
Yeah.
30 seconds
he's
later, the room
half.
was laughing.
He is half Will Smith's size.
He's
Right.
that small. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. So it
So-
really looked like a bully act to me.
I got an opinion I've heard no one else give on this. Literally. And I've been saving this all hour because we tried to wait till Andrew got here.
We didn't wait. We didn't
I've
talk
got a
about Will
take on
Smith
this.
at all until Andrew got here.
I know. But I got to take it. I got to take that I've heard no one else give.
Okay.
I think that was the whitest thing Will Smith ever did. And he
Okay.
plays the Fresh Prince. So, I mean,
What's
that was
white
that was
about
privilege.
slapping another guy in the face? I'll bite.
Thinking that you got the right to walk up on stage and smack somebody.
Oh, the most
Because it
entitled
because
thing he did.
Yes, and that's what I meant by white.
And so
that
when
was
you
the
meant
most
white, you
privileged,
automatically think of entitled. I agree with you on that.
It's in my breeding. So I mean, literally, no one else, nowhere else in the world, he wouldn't do that at a comedy club.
He wouldn't do it to
But
Denzel.
he was in the front freaking row, where you put your Oscar nominee winners on the aisle. They were at little tables, so but you get the analogy. He was on the aisle front row. He was. You talk about the seat of privilege. He felt he had the right to walk up on stage and slap Chris Rock in the mouth. And I think, and I don't think anybody across the country is going to. I hope it doesn't escalate, Bobby. You're probably right, but I hope it doesn't. I mean, that wasn't a guy losing control. He did lose control, but that was a guy like wrapping up in his privilege and diving headfirst into a 10-foot deep pool of privilege.
But does this make Andrew's gig tougher? Is that for the average comic signal danger?
I'm afraid I think it does. Again, with the
And
with
people
the
are already,
false equivalency.
you know, yeah, we're in strip malls and people are not on their best behavior. They're
No.
drinking. The
Two
comedy
drink
club's
minimum.
best interest is to
Get 'em
literally a
hammered.
minimum.
Yep.
You know, which is one of the things I've talked about when you ask me about going home with ladies sometimes at the end of the night, and they're already 5 drinks in by the time I'm
Right.
off the clock, and we can't match up at that.
By the way, I didn't ask you, like, we should talk about the context in which I asked you.
Hey,
Son, it's been a long time for me.
banging
What's it
any
like to go
groupies
home with
there?
ladies at the end of the night?
The
That
stand-up
was not
guy's
the
got the
context.
stage here. Stop heckling him.
No, it's fine. I like
No,
Andrew,
we have
here's your-
father-son talks about
Okay.
meeting people and how hard it is for a comic to meet a real relationship on the road. And that is true, because by the time he finishes work,
Yeah.
the women are in no condition to make a good decision, which I will confess, back in my day, that I viewed that as a plus.
That's a target-rich environment, baby.
That was a fish swimming. That was a fish swimming on its side for you.
But Andrew
Back
actually...
in your day, they didn't let black people get Oscars, so times have changed.
Times have changed.
Oh man.
On that note, I think that was the best joke of the night.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Andrew, I've got an opening line for you. By the way, folks, it's the audience that's supposed to get hammered, not the comic.
Hey, do
So,
you want to talk about anything else, or is that? it?
yeah, if you got something else quick, and Spike had 1 or 2 things he wanted to say, because I know he mentioned them earlier. And
Sure.
Zip gave me a huge list. Zip, I'm sorry, we're out of time. We're not going to get to it.
Come on.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I can save it. I mean, you only record every other 3 weeks now, so I want to, try to fill you
We're
in
getting
here.
back. The maple
I
syrup is
know.
almost over. Go ahead.
I'm sure. Well, I was just in New York City auditioning for a big streaming service, so if you know anyone at Truth Social, put a word in for me.
It's not. It's a bigger one than that.
No,
But that's
I
good.
wish it was Truth Social. I'd have a better shot as
my
a straight white guy.
God.
But
Okay. So you're a straight white guy. That means it's probably Netflix, because they're not buying a lot of you guys right now, right?
yeah, I was the only straight white guy on my lineup. So it's
kidding.
like it's Hollywood, so every show has to have a trans and a gay and a weirdo, and I'm the weirdo. So.
Talk
But it
about
could be a
that,
good
'cause
thing.
In other, we talk about white privilege, but in comedy right now, it's actually, in a weird way, the more unusual. I'll say unusual because I'm not
Yeah.
trying to be
Mm-hmm.
judgmental.
The less
But
mainstream.
But the less mainstream and the more unusual you are, the easier it is to get attention, right?
Sure. I mean, that is one of the cool things. I did think it's interesting. In 13 years, I had never seen myself as the only straight white guy on a lineup. And I thought that's cool because these people have interesting stories and perspectives that we don't get to see very often.
Right.
So
Plus, as the only straight white guy, you might be the token guy.
right. Yeah, that's what I was worried about, like at first I'm like, oh, that means I'm the best white guy. They're like, we've only got one white guy spot. Let's give it to Andrew. And then it's like, no, they're like, hey, we just need a white guy to pretend we're looking at white guys. Just throw any white guy on
like
the lineup.
affirmative action. For
The Rudy
Yeah.
rule for comedy.
That is
Get
wild.
somebody peek it up there and even the score, would you?
I'm going to come out as gay just so I can improve my chances like an Olympic swimmer,
Well, most people assume already, so.
So I don't want to mention the too much about this audition because I don't want to jinx it. But did it go well?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I had a great set, and I don't know if that's what they're looking at. So we'll it's possible that they have half the spots already filled, and then they're just looking for a couple new people to throw in, So I don't know where I rank on any of that. But one of the producers that was at this showcase was one of the producers who worked on Bring the Funny TV show from a couple years ago.
That's right.
He knows
This
your
is
work.
the show I was kicked off of at the last minute.
Which was a blessing
So-
in disguise, by the way, because it was
Right.
a terrible show.
I was driving down to LA and they literally stopped answering my phone calls and I was ghosted from television. But so he was there and he came up and apologized and he was like, I feel so bad. It was NBC's fault. It wasn't us. And I thought that's kind of nice, but also he felt so bad. I mean, not bad enough to ever call me 4 years later,
Right.
I didn't say any of that to him. I just told him the show sucked anyway, and he did me a favor, and so
That's good.
we laughed. It could be good. It could be,
Yeah.
I do get anxious talking about it because I'm like, if I don't get it, and then I've been talking about it, maybe I can be someone's inspiration to quit comedy. Like, hey, kids, it turns out being funny doesn't help. Go home, sell insurance, keep your day job.
That's it.
Right?
All right.
Study.
Andrew Rivers. Spike, you had one thing you were mentioning earlier that sounded like a big family thing. What's going on?
I don't remember. Oh, but the IRS sent me 4 letters today. I can't. You want to
You
talk
got
about
4
scary.
letters from the IRS.
You want to talk about? You want to talk
Was it
about
F,
scary.
U,
You go to
C,
your-
and K in separate envelopes? What was it?
Well, when you do your taxes late, like I have the last couple years, and you're scrambling to find deductions and try to fight your way back to some kind of a refund, if not break even, and you're declaring, oh, I don't know, every cotton ball eyeliner you ever touched as business expenses.
Sure.
And everything you put in your